Brothers of the shining moon, heaven, earth, and sea, I call upon you in this hour, bring magic unto me. Brothers, oh, the cauldron cries, it singeth unto me the songs of Mother Goddess and of Father in the tree.
Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we are off adventuring into the spaces between. Why do I feel like no one's hearing me? Maybe I'm just not hearing me. That could be. Oh, hey, there I am. Hi, everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic Saturday evening, Monday or Sunday morning. Yeah, I can't tell what day it is. Just ends in Y. We're being broadcast live today on Truth Frequency Radio, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and TalkStream Live, and also on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. And if you are on either YouTube or TFR, make sure you say hello in the chat room. Or if you are doing other things, I totally understand. Send me an email at wildpaisley@gmail.com. That's WILDEPAISLEY if you got a moment, check out iLife.com. iLife is the official sponsor for Truth Frequency Radio. Combination of the unleaded ayahuasca with the high quality CBD cure what ails you. Definitely does. Another place to go when you have a free spell, it would be PaisleyWild.com. That's www.PaisleyWild.com. That's my site. Yep. Or that's if you want to support me, you can go there. I got the store. You can do the cash tag thing. There's a link there, or you can just do the cash tag straight up to support my radio habit. That is $ TheSpacesBetween. Oddly, with no spaces. The call line is open tonight, and that number is 213-233-3998. Or if you're across the pond in the UK, it is 44203-393-2871. Almost 2.5 years, and I don't have those numbers memorized. My only defense is that I have a tiny brain sometimes, and there's only so much room in there for the information that I do have, which seems to be like random bits of unnecessary information and bad pun jokes, and not a lot of birth dates or phone numbers anymore. I don't understand that. I really don't. So, news from yesterday. I told y'all yesterday, but if you didn't get a chance to listen, my book is published. Woody woot. It is The Wild Pagan. That's WILDE for Wild Pagan. A to Z. And basically, I started out as just kind of a kid's book for my daughter. Because, no, Wanda, I don't know that name. I might have to look it up, though. Yeah, just, I wanted something for her, kind of a beginner book, if you will. And as I started writing, it's just A to Z, like A is for altar, B is for Beltane, that kind of thing. C is for cat. As you can hear muttering around in the background and Don tripping and stuff. Don is here. He's still in the dark, though. The camera's not on.
Okay.
Because Don's busy doing stuff. Say hi, Don.
Hi, Don.
Yeah. And so, yeah. Just, I don't know, it was just a fun thing to do with the book, and I did the illustration of it too, and then self-published. It's published under Monarch Mountain Studios, and yeah, check it out. If you buy the book or download it or whatever, make sure you leave a review, hopefully very positive, and let me know what you think. I'm curious. So yeah. Yeah. Last night, Naysay was on the show. Thank you, Naysay. I don't know if you're listening. I did see that you called. I have not called you back because it's been kind of a busy day. I'll try to call you tomorrow. And it was a really good show. We talked about cultural appropriation. I figured who better to talk about cultural appropriation than someone who's from the Ojibwe tribe. For those of you who don't know, the Ojibwe are a First Nation people here in the U.S. and a lot of historical lore there, and yeah, good stuff. He knows quite a bit, and I don't know. I thought it'd be a great opportunity to talk about some of the appropriation that people talk about online all the time. The keyboard warriors, saying this is appropriation and that is appropriation. And the biggest thing is, or the biggest takeaway is, are you coming from a place of authenticity and love, or are you coming from a place of the opposite of that? And yeah, really check your ego before you use something. And there's one thing to honor a culture, and it is another thing to subvert key elements of a culture. Really two different things. So, yeah. Yeah. So, tonight, I got to thinking, mostly because I'm wearing... tonight we're talking about talismans. I wear my raven skull pretty much all the time because I'm a follower of Hecate. And then I have my Tree of Life with another raven that I wear a lot. Not always, but a lot. And then today I'm wearing a sand dollar. The sand dollar actually is stained and varnished, which I don't know that I've ever seen that anywhere else. But yeah, interesting. Wanda, the book is on Amazon. So
I'll get it.
Okay.
I'll get it. Goodness.
Don's going to be the secretary and get you the link and the stuff. Wanda. So, yeah, because I am...
You'll take forever to find it, like you did last night.
and the funny thing is, even though it took me forever to find it, yes, Julia still found it first.
I know, I heard.
Yeah. Because I can't apparently talk and type at the same time. I just can't. I know this about myself. Anyways, so tonight, talking about talismans. I wear, like I said, I wear the raven skull pretty much all the time. I also wear a lot of rings and bracelets and such, and also various necklaces and pendants.
Thank you, Lucky.
Earrings. And yeah, Lucky's Johnny on the spot. And I wear them in part because sometimes I need that touchstone. Sometimes I just need something a little bit more. Yeah, a talisman, by definition, is an object, typically an inscribed ring or stone, thought to have magic powers to bring good luck, according to the Oxford Dictionary. But more loosely translated, a talisman is any object described with religious or magical powers intended to protect, heal, or harm individuals for whom they are made. Talismans are often portable objects carried around on someone in a variety of ways, but can also be installed permanently in architecture. Not to be mistaken for a port key. Something else entirely.
Diagon Alley.
That was flu powder.
Still, it's the point.
Common words that are used in place of talisman would be a charm, a lucky charm, a fetish, an amulet, mascot, totem, idol, juju, phylactery, or periapt. So some of those are words more commonly used in other ways. But often, yeah, the mascot would be, well, like a team mascot. Or we talked about that just a little bit yesterday, too. But, a totem is often associated with spirit guides. Juju, that one's a little bit different. Juju is often associated with magic in some way, shape, or form. But generally, when I think of juju, I think of some more like a negative energy or a chaotic energy.
I think it's just semantics, really, but usually bad juju is usually a general term, in my opinion, of magic being improperly used, bad magic, bad juju. But a juju bag would be like a medicine bag or a fetish bag.
Or a gree-gree.
A gree-gree, yep. So there are, if you add the word bag to that word, then I understand it a lot more.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't right at the moment, but I often have a bag of rocks that I keep in my pocket. Nope, apparently I cleaned out all my pockets. I don't have anything on me right at the moment. Oh, goodness. And generally, they're touchstones. Some of the different things are used for protection. A lot of the stones have different energetic properties associated with them, and have different traits or characteristics associated with different energy signals or characteristics. Mookaite, which for our Australian friends, it would be, as a Mookaite jasper, is from Mooka. Mooka, yes. Hold on, let me pull it back up. No, wrong button. Not George Carlin.
No, it's just a mook.
No. So just so you guys know, the website that I use a lot for my crystal meaning or gemstone meaning definitions and uses, that kind of thing, is crystalvaults.com. A lot of good information there. But Mooka Creek is where Mookaite jasper is from, and that's in Australia. A Mooka is an Aboriginal term that means running waters. But anyways, the reason why I bring Mookaite is it's really good for procrastination and focusing on things and listening to your spirit guides. So apparently this is something I need more in my life because, yeah, I had enough people talk to me about it today that it's going to, I need to buy that one. But the reason why I bring it up is sometimes we need that talisman to help focus what we're trying to achieve. Mookaite, specifically, if you hold it up against your solar plexus, when you are asking your spirit guides a question, often the answer can be channeled through the Mookaite into yourself. So you listen to that gut instinct or that gut feeling, even though it might not make any sense at all. Like running in the dark, in the fog, doesn't make a lot of sense. But if there's growly, snappy noises behind you, maybe it's time to run. So just a reason to follow that instinct more. Because honestly, in our societies today, we are not encouraged to follow our instincts. We're encouraged to follow the sheep.
We're told to shut up and do.
Yep, shut up and do. Be the sheep. Channel your inner sheep. Rather than, be yourself. Lucky in the chat room says that her talisman is her tattoo. Yes, I've got one of those. You can barely see it. It's an acorn. Because of Groot, I have an acorn. which I really kind of like the oak tree. So yes, I have an acorn. I also have a dragon. Dragon energy is kind of a big deal. We'll talk about that probably on a different show. The dragon magic. That's a real thing, by the way, in case you didn't know. So, what are different ideas or symbols besides rocks? I mean, that could be used as a talisman. Wanda is asking about moldavite.
Isn't moldavite like super rare because it's from a meteorite that hit the Earth in Romania?
The Czech Republic.
Czech Republic. So
moldavite is
yeah.
a limited quantity stone. Because yes, it is a meteorite. It landed a few millennia ago, and wow. Let's see. I want the thing. Well, that's not what I wanted. I wanted moldavite, not green tea. My search engine is apparently looking for all sorts of different random things. Moldavite. So moldavite. Yeah, a lot of really strong energy with moldavite, just so you guys know. It's a forest green to olive green. Silica projectile rock from a meteoric impact. Well, depending on whom you speak with, it's southern Germany, near the Nordlinger Ries crater, or the Czech Republic, but it's
it's
tektite.
From the Moldau River in the Czech Republic.
I know,
period.
Which is just so. I know. That's what happens when people who don't know what they're talking about try to leave a definition of something. Yeah, Moldau River, Czech Republic. Yep, it was huge apparently. 15 million years ago, has said to have had more power than an atomic explosion when it landed.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, it's a really, I think moldavite's beautiful. I love the colors of it.
Stupid, stinking expensive.
I have some, so there.
People are grinding it up and ingesting it.
Okay. Time out. You don't have to grind up a stone and ingest it to get the energetic charge from it. They have these awesome water bottles that have they're glass, and they have a little glass chamber that you can put stones into. And there's a glass barrier to keep your stones separate from your water, because you really shouldn't be drinking a lot of gravelly water, because not all stones should be ingested. And yeah, you can still get those energetic properties without drinking the rocks, kids. It's not that kind of crystal.
Apparently, some people say that if you ingest moldavite when you're dropping acid or taking shrooms, that it intensifies the high, man. I think that's just stupid. Why don't you just throw it in the toilet and just flush it?
Yeah, people. Just people. So, moldavite is a catalyst type stone when it comes to the energetic properties. And I suppose the best way to describe the energy of it is, if there is a change that you are even subconsciously thinking about, whether it's like, I don't really like my job, but I can't quit yet because I have to do this, or hey, I kind of want to go to school, but I have this other commitment, or hey, I kind of like this person, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to go on that kind of a date yet. Or on the opposite of that, it's like, hey, I want this relationship to end, but I don't know if I'm really ready for that. Maybe we should do therapy first or something like that. So basically, moldavite as a cataclysmic stone will either open the door or slam it in your face, depending on what it is your subconscious is thinking about. So if you're thinking that you don't like your job and you should really go find another one, you're going to get fired. Probably.
It'll help things move along, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. It's the catalyst for change. So when, and I mentioned this, okay, I've been talking about TikTok a lot, and I'm sorry, but TikTok has been the fuel for some amusement. But there's this video of these people, these clips of people saying, "Well, I got the Moldavite and I started wearing it, and oh my gosh, this thing happened, and don't do this, and I never should have done it." Like, their boyfriend broke up with them, they lost the job, the dog ran away. It's like a bad country song. So, yes, a lot of strong energy with the Moldavite. Wanda says she feels bare when she takes it off. Yep, totally get it. Strong energy there. So if you don't have it on you, yes, you may feel the thing is a little different. So yeah. But yeah, really excellent example of a talisman, though. I know someone who has a piece of Moldavite carved into the shape of Ganesh, and she is an EMT, and she wears it pretty much every day. And I don't blame her, because she needs all the help she can get as an EMT, because life. And yeah, she needs that cataclysmic energy to protect her. So as a talisman, it is absolutely something that she needs. So if you need that extra protection, that extra barrier, that cataclysmic energy, yeah, Moldavite is definitely going to be your thing. Just be careful about what you wish for when you're wearing it. That's all. Don's having problems today.
I just pulled a Paisley.
Hey, I'm not the one who tripped over my computer bag.
Hey.
I didn't even see it and know that's what happened.
Don't be hating.
I wasn't hating.
You just wish you were talented like that.
You're just tripping. That's all.
Which reminds me, I should probably be doing that.
What?
Nothing.
Okay. You can share. So, anyways, so you just be cautious, be aware of what it is, the energetic traits of the things that you're wearing. Some people do have the lucky rabbit's foot. Not Lucky's rabbit foot, but the lucky rabbit foot.
I don't know if Lucky has rabbits, but that's not a lucky rabbit.
Right? So, some people use that as a talisman. Maybe it's a birthstone. Maybe it's a ring. I have a couple different rings that I often wear, just because they help me focus myself. One of them is a fidget ring, so that is a bit of a talisman that I wear for anxiety, because I can fidget with it. I can roll my fidget ring without anybody knowing that I'm having an issue, which honestly, and for me sometimes that's a big deal, kind of being under the radar and keeping those issues quiet. But other people have different things that they use for talismans. Any sports geek that y'all know has probably either worn the same jersey for every home game, or insists on wearing their lucky socks or their lucky hat, or they got to do this or they got to do this thing, because if they don't do the thing, then they won't win, or their team won't win, or their person won't win, whatever. It's also amazing how many of those people also go to church and say that witchcraft is bad. But hey, they have to have their talisman to help their team win.
The ritual.
Yeah, part of it is a ritual, 100%. But generally, it is just, yeah. They've. Hey, look, Dawn's on the air.
Oh.
I remembered to turn the button. So, sometimes it's a ring. Maybe it is a family ring, a family heirloom. Maybe it's an insignia type ring. And that's what you use as your talisman. It helps protect you. It helps to give you good luck. And these are things that sometimes are more intrinsic in nature and don't have any magical energy adhered to them or ascribed to them. And these are just things. Because a talisman, honestly, truly could be any blasted thing. If you've ever played bingo, you know the little crazy ladies that play bingo all the time with the troll dolls, and they have this and they have that, and they got to have all their lucky whatever daubers to play bingo. Nobody gets madder than two little gray-haired ladies when a third one yells bingo. Oh boy. Throw down the walkers.
Don't let them catch you in the parking lot.
Exactly. So, we're going to just keep talking about talismans. A little bit lighter topic, I suppose, than last night, just because I think we need it. And we'll talk about the meteor shower happening this week, too. So, we're off to our first break, and we will be right back. Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we are off adventuring into the spaces between. Oh, I had a message. Oh, yep. Lucky sent me a Moldavite thing.
Oh.
A Moldavite.
What?
Not Moldavite, a Moldavite. Sorry. I am apparently punchy.
Weirdo.
Yeah, I know. I haven't been drinking my Moldavite lately. Wow. So,
Anyhow,
we're
moving
talking. Yeah, talking about talismans, and yeah, talismans.
So I was just looking up because the one I wear is the one I usually wear is quartz tourmaline. You really can't see it
It's
because there's no.
tourmalinated quartz.
Yes.
So it's white quartz with tourmaline.
So tourmaline purifies one's own energy and protects from negativity. I'm going to get to the crux of this because I think it's freaking hilarious. So the chakra that it's associated with is the third eye. The element is earth, and the zodiac is Capricorn. Guess who's a Capricorn?
Yeah.
So this is what makes me laugh. This combination of tourmaline quartz is a powerful shield stone that, depending on the desired intent of the wearer, can amplify and return negative energy like a mirror spell, or can convert negative energy into positive energy for the wearer. How many times have I said that I don't put up with anybody's bullshit?
Enough that you need a T-shirt that says that.
Yeah, no doubt. However, tourmaline quartz detoxifies the entire body and is used to treat disorders of the digestive tract. It harmonizes the meridians, the subtle bodies, and the chakras. So it provides balance in my Capricorn attitude. My talisman does. So there you go. How cool is that?
It is actually pretty cool. I do find it kind of amusing. That's the one that you wear the most. What else do you have over
slightly ironic. What else do I have? I have pre-night.
Pre-night.
I love this one. This one's great. And you know the odd part about this is chakra is yellow solar plexus. If it's yellow, it's solar plexus. If it's green, it's heart chakra. Well, this is green pre-night, which I really wish I could get some light on that because the wrap is just awesome on it. The element is earth. Its vibration number is 5. And guess what pre-night zodiac is?
Is that Capricorn?
It's Libra.
Oh, really?
And guess which one I wear when I'm not wearing that one?
Is it that one?
This one. Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
All right, so
it's the one you have is also tourmalinated.
Yeah, but
It's
it's
got tourmaline
just
in it.
tourmaline quartz. Yeah. Pre-night heals the kidneys and bladders, the thymus gland, shoulder and chest and lungs. It treats gout, blood disorders. Pre-night repairs the connective tissue in the body and can stabilize malignancy. The stone is for dreaming and remembering, beneficial for hyperactive children, and causes that and the causes that underline the condition. So, pre-night calms the environment and brings peace and protection. Teaches how to be in harmony with nature and elemental forces. Helpful for decluttering, letting go of possessions you no longer need, aiding those who hoard possessions or love because of an inner lack. Interesting. Alleviates nightmares, phobias, and deep fears. So, those are the two that I wear mostly. It also has a psychic connection too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has a psychic connection. It enhances the psychic energies of one's person.
Very cool. So that would be one that would be really good in a dream catcher.
Yeah, but you can't have it.
Fine. I'll get my own.
I'll get my own.
I know where to get them.
How about my Kambaba Jasper?
You can Baba Jasper?
My Kambaba Jasper. Let me find this other thing here real quick though about Kambaba.
Kambaba. Kambaba Jasper is awesome.
Is that from? Do you have it from Crystal Vault? Because I can't find that.
I don't know. Crystal Council is another one I go to. So Kumbaba jasper is generally it's green with other green circles and spots.
Mm-hmm.
It is a heart and root chakra.
Once again, I just no light.
I don't know what to tell you. Let's see. So it's also known as a green stromatolite jasper. So it's an old stone. It's about 3 billion years old. And it's got green and black swirling color pattern.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of new crystal collectors actually confuse it with malachite, which is a different stone altogether.
I don't know how you can mess this up with malachite.
Because malachite has some green swirlies like that too, so...
I don't know if that's even working.
Not really, no. It's more of a glare deer. So Kumbaba jasper is not actually a jasper, but rather a fossil. Because it is a stromatolite, which is a clump of fossilized algae that created the mineral.
Mm-hmm.
One of the special fossils within is a cyanobacteria, which is believed to have helped create the oxygenated atmosphere on Earth a long, long time ago. Let's see. It's an Earth element. Let's see. It's associated with the planet Earth. Let's see. It's a quartz and feldspar. Blah, blah, blah.
Does it have an associated zodiac?
I'm looking and I'm not seeing... maybe?
Peace and tranquility imbued with the nourishing green energy of nature.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Nothing's jumping out at me here as I just skim through this. But mostly it's the heart and root chakra I thought was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The origin of the stone's name is actually debated. Leading theory suggests that the Kumbaba jasper is named after a Chithero Kumbaba. I don't know. But Mr. Kumbaba is, according to the court chronicle, the kings of Manipur, India, and this thought it's been around for a long time, so is named after a king in theory. So, let's see. Let me check one more place, and we'll move on.
It also protects against colleagues who would purposefully destabilize your efforts.
It's very good for meditation and allows you to let go of negative thoughts and emotions and feelings, especially those that continuously appear in your consciousness. So it's very cleansing for your negative energies. It's a stone that will also dispel nightmares and harmful thoughts, especially if you pair it with your December birthstone, which is the turquoise. Or zircon. Yeah, but turquoise. Oh yeah, there you go. It's looking into the symbolic meanings of different crystals and stones is kind of a rabbit hole.
Right.
Because yeah, you can get sucked into it and you get to looking and you forget to come up for air. The Smithsonian has a really good book out for the meanings and the origins of a lot of the crystals.
Anything the Smithsonian tells you.
Well, it's got some good information in there because they have to cite it correctly. But also
they're a government entity. They don't have to cite anything correctly.
They'd get stoned. But they also show some really interesting examples of how different stones and crystals were used throughout the ages. From different grave sites they've robbed.
They corrupt?
Robbed.
Oh, yeah.
So, along with the giants and all that, yeah. But the Crystal Bible is another good one. So yeah, there's a couple of really good books out there. You just gotta find them.
I don't know what that is.
Oh. It could just be an agate.
Yeah, I have a bag labeled fire agate, but I thought that was wrapped in
No, I have
Copper.
I have the fire agate.
Oh yeah, you have that. It's that big giant one, huh? Yeah, I don't know what this one is.
I don't know. That's not a fire agate. That's maybe just an agate. It could be a dendritic agate. So, anyways, as we're talking about the different stones and crystals and the different energetic symbolism behind it and associations and such, it just shows you how the energy of a thing is can be transferred to the wearer, the holder, to either help them or hinder them, especially if they're in like a juju bag or a gree bag, because those are often associated with a negative energy. A lot of spell jars have, hey Linda, have stones and crystals in them also, because the spell jars need those or the energetic signatures of those different stones to help power the spell within the jar. Other things that might be considered a talisman would be a bell. Bells are part of the ceremonial symbolism for multiple religions, not just pagan ones, but also you hear bells within Christianity, within Islam, within Judaism. Your call to prayer. I mean, the singing bowl, if you just ding it, it's more of a bell.
The wedding bells.
The wedding bells. Yeah, exactly. Often they're a blessing, or their bells are used to call the attention of the spirits to whatever is being done. Yeah, that's a tingsha bell. You need a mallet.
That's exactly what I wanted.
Yep, just like that. Oh yeah, that got loud.
That resonation is just awesome.
I think Dawn's been down here playing with my bell.
No.
No? It's just cool.
That thing just rings.
Yes, it does. Other things that have been used as talismans throughout the years. Statuary. There's the Venus of... I'm looking at Dawn to see if it can... The
Venus flytrap?
No, that's a plant. Venus... I can't spell... No, not that one. Anyways, it's an older pagan Willendorf. That's what it is. Venus of Willendorf. It's an older piece of carved stone. It looks like a chunky chick with big boobs and hips and all that.
Right.
The big hips.
Yeah, the bear mother.
Yeah. And that was originally considered a talisman. It could have been used fertility or protection or anything like that. So a lot of the statuary that was seen, especially in ancient times, is because it was a talisman type of energy thought to reside within the statuary. Even gargoyles were thought to be a talisman to ward off evil, rather than the personification of evil. That's something that's been changed throughout the years. Foo dogs, and the different dragon representations from Asian cultures are talismans of protection. Let's see, I'm just looking around at the studio here. I can see I've got an Eskimo mother on the shelf up there. And that's one, it's a very mother energy, if you will, and maternal type of energy that's associated with it. I've got an African mask. I've got a brass tray with some different inscriptions on it. And those are all considered talismans. The mask would be more to ward off evil. So a lot of these talismans were really truly to ward off evil or to protect the bearer or holder from harm, because there is, especially in ancient times, there's not as many defined and known sources of evil or malevolent energies, and those so things that go bump in the night, those are all considered bad, and so they would try to protect themselves from the bad energy. So with the Striga and the evil eye, wearing the evil eye as a talisman of protection, but also as a mark of, well, I will curse you with the evil eye. It kind of was a two-way street. Yep. I suppose they could have popped it out and just thrown it at you. But before the break, earlier, Lucky mentioned that engagement rings were used as a talisman. Mm-hmm. The wedding band itself is considered a talisman. It's a ring with no end and no beginning, symbolizing the longevity of the relationship or the union between the two spouses. So, that kind of a thing. Talismans, yes. Contemporary talisman, might, especially locally, might be your can of bear spray, also known as bear seasoning, because they will season you with it, or Bigfoot spray, I suppose you could call it. A lot of hikers do wear bells up here. Bears probably call those dinner bells. So, Anne-Marie, the different talisman type of items out there are, again, not just to protect you, but they can also draw that good energy or that good magic to you, especially like with a lot of the idols, a lot of altars, both in historic times and in contemporary times, are there to draw the eye or the attention of the representation of the altar. I have a goddess figure that I crafted myself, and then I've got some other things that are kind of representative of that. But if you were to go into a pagan's home and their altar was available for all to see, yeah, you are probably going to find some sort of talisman on that altar that is representative of their practice, their beliefs, and those idols are there to draw the attention and the energy of the different deities that they worship or revere. Christians, common talisman for Christians is the cross, or the fish, or both. There are some runic inscriptions that you would generally associate more with the Asatru or the Odinists, the Nordic pantheon, but those also carry over into Christendom. The crescent moon for Islam, David's star for Judaism. There's all sorts of different symbolic. Yeah, symbolic. Thank you. I was trying to make it too complicated. To represent their path, or to draw the energy to their path, or to honor the deities that they work with. It's part of the reason why I have the acorn tattooed on my arm. It's a representation of the oak, which is a known insignia or a known association for Kununos, one of the deities that I work with. And often you'll see certain priests or priestesses within the pagan culture that will have different tattoos about them in some way, shape, or form. A friend of mine that we lost a couple years back, as she had a tattoo on her forehead. It was part of the tradition that she was within. I've met other priestesses within that same tradition since then, and they all have a very similar tattoo right up on their forehead, which to me, a facial tattoo is a huge commitment. I don't care what your path is, but that's a big deal. The tattoos have been used to represent charms or talismans for a long time. You'll see gangs will use tattoos to show their allegiances and as a talisman to hopefully protect them within their own space. And sometimes they use them to show their level of seniority, their level of power, if you will. But the same thing has happened throughout the annals of history. You know, different warriors will have different things tattooed upon themselves to show their status within their society. So tattoos as a representation of a talisman to show status is one thing, but also to draw power and magic to them is another thing. And there's just a lot of we could talk about that kind of stuff for the next month and not run out of information and stuff to talk about when it comes to tattoos as talismans. So talismans can also be, as I mentioned, representations of a blessing. So if you have a blessing that you want to bestow upon someone, maybe you want to engrave that particular talisman on a thing, whether it's a placard or a sign or a scarf or something. Yep, that's something that happens all the time. When my sister was married, it's been a few years back now, she and her husband used a Gaelic, or part of a Gaelic ceremony within their own, and it was they both held a stone in their hands as they were saying their vows.
Oh, this is the youngest sister, right?
And
Because
so,
I was like, I don't see the other one doing that.
no, not so much. But basically, as they were saying their vows, they were setting their vows in stone, and so the stone is representation of their wedding vows. It's their talisman for their relationship. So far, they haven't thrown it at one another, so that's a good thing. But having that energy of that relationship set into stone is a big deal. It's a big signifier. Sometimes people have other more macabre type talismans where they will have a paperweight or perhaps a pendant made with the ashes of someone or a pet that they have lost to help their remembrance of that individual. And that's really awesome, I think, to have that touchstone or that ability to reach out and connect physically with someone who's not there with you anymore, which can be pretty powerful when it comes to healing from those losses. Trying to think. There's more. But again, the coffee. Fetishes. We'll talk about those a little bit more. And not the more creative stay home behind a closed door fetish. But a fetish is also known as a good luck charm. And they're generally pretty specific to... That's not what I wanted there. It's something that is used or it's an object generally worshipped for its magical powers or because it's considered to be inhabited by a spirit of some sort. Possibly good, possibly bad. So this could be like a reliquary. Again, you got to be careful. Don't open the reliquary. Whatever you do, please. It's kind of like playing with the Ouija board. Don't do it. I'm going to stop right there because guess what? That's the top of the hour already. And tonight is flying by fast. When we come back, we will do the singing bowl. And maybe Don will say something about talismans and such.
I already have.
A little bit, but you can speak more.
Well,
it's the hat.
Whatever. It's the hat.
Yeah, it's your talisman.
Oh gosh.
For your show.
No, that just covered my horrible day.
We'll be right back.
Within the sun, as we will, so mote it be, the spell forever done.
lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we are off adventuring into the spaces between. And you know what? I just realized I can't do a singing bowl.
Well, I can't do it. Where's the other mallet? Oh, it's upstairs.
I have another mallet. Yeah, it is upstairs. You want to go get it real quick?
Yeah.
Hold, please. Dee 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 dee. Yes, we will do the singing bowl in a moment. And so it'll be Paisley on the singing bowl and Don Longbeard on the tincture. Thank you. One of these days we'll have to bring down the other set of bowls and harmonize them.
I gotta tell you, I don't know why it's not down here. They're not down here.
Mostly because finite space. And I haven't brought them down here yet. I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to keep them.
Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, bing.
For some people,
Bing, bing, bing.
coffee is a
Oh
talisman.
goodness, yes, a talisman of a peaceful day, or at least a day without murders.
Yes. That too. Tea could be a talisman if that was your gig. Actually, I do like tea. I drink a lot of tea. Tuning forks are very popular as well. Let's see. Chocolate could be a talisman. So yeah, food could be a talisman. Think about it this way. What are your comfort foods when you don't feel good? Maybe you have an upset tummy or a headache. Thank you, Lucky. When you just straight up don't feel good, what's your go-to, your comfort food, or what makes you feel warm and fuzzy on a cold day? For some, it's like chicken noodle soup and a grilled cheese sandwich. For others, it's hot cocoa. My comfort food for the longest time used to be a peanut butter and banana sandwich with Doritos and chocolate milk.
Ugh.
Even now, I would just, if it was in the house, that's definitely what I would have. It's just one of those things. I also like rotisserie chicken, sharp cheddar cheese, French bread, and a nice light white wine. That to me is a comfort food meal. So is homemade pot roast. And just the things that evoke the feelings of safety and security. Maybe it's a smell. Is there a smell that makes you feel good? How often, when someone has passed, a loved one has passed, do you smell something, whether it's perfume or pipe tobacco or leather? I don't know. There's so many different smells out there that just reminds me or reminds you of the loved one that has passed, and it gives you that sense of warmth and security. All of those things could be considered talismans because they're bringing you a sense of security and often safety and protection. And those are all things that are, it's our touchstone as humanity, or as humans, as people, that we need to remember and not forget, which of course is to remember, because at a cellular level, almost, we need those comfort things. Maybe it's popcorn in a movie, or game night, or fuzzy slippers. Fuzzy slippers are as important as coffee, just so you know. And I suppose for me, it's a real tangible thing, even though smells are considered intangible. It gives you that feeling, that confidence, often that we lack in times of stress, that we're going to overcome or move beyond whatever it is we've been dealing with. For me, growing up, I read a lot, read a lot. And so for the longest time, my talisman was a book. I wouldn't necessarily have to read it. As long as I had a book in my bag, I was good. Sometimes there's 3 or 4 books in there. Now with the books being on the phone, yeah, that's rough. For some people, having their cell phone on them is a talisman. Or maybe it's your pocket knife. I do live in North Idaho. Maybe it's your pistol on your hip. That's your talisman. Those are all different things that give you that sense of security and tranquility or peace. And if that's what helps you get through the day without, losing all your marbles, then that's what you need to do. What's Dawn use?
What? What?
Do you have a talisman that you wear every day? It's Donnie on the spot.
I'm usually not caught without a hat on, but that's just because I'm terrible with hair. No, not really. I mean, I can set my phone down and walk away. As a matter of fact, I probably should have set it down earlier today because work was trying to call. No. No, not really. I don't think so.
Mm-hmm. Would you ever have a talisman tattooed upon you?
I don't know.
You're horrible at this whole interview thing. Goodness gracious me.
It's because these are things that aren't important. They don't necessarily hold
value.
Importance, not value, importance.
Okay.
Because like I mentioned earlier with the quartz and tourmaline, it's I pretty much am very attuned to that stone. Mm-hmm. So I don't think I need to have that stone with me all the time. It would be nice to have some way to wear it out of the way, but something that would actually last longer than like a month.
If you didn't wear the cordage into the shower all the time.
Yeah, that's kind of a pain in the butt for me to take it off.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you're right. It would probably last longer. But, I don't know. No, I don't really carry anything. No, not even my pocket knife anymore.
I know. It's really weird. He'll look at me. Hey, do you have a pocket knife?
I know. I'm such a bad North Idaho boy.
And almost always I say, well, yes, I do. Here, would you like to borrow it? Go sharpen it when you're done. Actually, mine needs to be sharpened. So, yeah. I feel pretty naked if I don't have my pocket knife with me. Chapstick, that's another thing. That's more of a girl thing.
Yeah, apparently.
I know a lot of people couldn't survive if they didn't carry their purse with them.
Yeah.
Just because, Mary Poppins could carry,
10 million things in her carpet bag.
Along with the kitchen sink. Yeah. I mean, that's real. Sometimes it's a setting, going somewhere or doing something reminds me of a time or a place that gave me the warm, fuzzy feelings. Because sometimes a memory could be your talisman. So in meditation, for me, I'm generally trying to focus on a place or a scene that I build in my mind. And I build it all the way down to, how does it feel sitting on the grass? Or the sound of the bugs, or the wind in the trees. You know, the there's the textures, the sights, the sounds, the smells, all of it. And for me, when I'm meditating, it's really important for me to get all of those different elements in there for me to have a successful meditation. Is when I don't have all of the components correct, that I feel like I've dropped the ball somewhere. It's not as fulfilling. Now, it's my happy place. It's where I've always gone mentally when I needed to take a break. Breathing exercises for pain management. That's where I'm going. Just because it's my spot in the world, my inner world, if you will, where I'm not dealing with a lot of the extraneous stuff that we as people seem to deal with on a day-to-day basis. Especially like pain management, for instance. I get to put it away on a shelf and it doesn't come out there. So, yes, a talisman can even be something in your imagination. It doesn't always have to be a physically tangible something or other, whether it's smelling it, tasting it, hearing it, or feeling it. Although grandma's sugar cookies are always going to be a thing, or chocolate cake, or
Chronic tea drinking leads to biscuit dependency.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a cookie biscuit or a biscuit biscuit?
Well, a biscuit and tea is a
That's
cookie and tea.
Gone.
It's a cookie and tea.
Marie says basil reminds me of my granny, and I have memories with that herb. Yeah, absolutely. My grandmother used to drink that International Delight instant coffee stuff. And
Sweet mocha.
no, it was vanilla.
Whatever.
The French vanilla. And even now, the smell of like the French vanilla cappuccino stuff that you get at the gas station, the instant stuff that's got the congealed texture of, yeah. I still think of Grandma every time I smell it. I tried to drink it a couple times with her. Yeah, she never had enough stuff in there, or yeah, it just give me the coffee, Grandma. Yeah, you don't put anything in it. Just yeah.
It ranks right up there next to Sanka. Oh.
Yeah, Sanka. It sank a lot of stuff. So yeah, it's those things. It's the memory is the talisman there. And a way for me to keep that memory alive is to sit back and remember those things about her. Same thing, my grandfather, he would eat a slice of onion, like a half-inch thick, on a plate with salt and pepper, just like a steak. And he would slice it with his knife and he'd eat it. And then it would smell like onion for the rest of the day. I don't know how my grandmother lived with him. I don't know how they had 5 kids. Just, nope, no idea. 4 kids. Yeah, I don't remember now. But yeah, no, don't know how that happened because, nah, bad. But at the same time, the smell of raw onion, I think of my grandfather all the time. So, and yeah, just little things like that. So, when we journal our thoughts and what's going on in our world, remember to journal those things that trigger those memories of our loved ones that have passed, so that you can keep those fond memories alive every time you encounter one of those things. And specifically the fond memories, not the ones that are, nails on chalkboard horrible. Those ones we don't want to remember. Yeah, we just don't. So, within witchcraft itself, there are quite a few different talismans. There's the star, there's the moon, there's the There's the pentacle, the pentagram, depending on your path. The Eye of Ra, the Eye of Horus,
The Ankh.
the Ankh. The Ankh shows up in Christianity too,
I know.
which makes me just kind of shake my head just a wee bit. Let's see, what else is there? There's a lot of them. The broom, honestly, is often associated with witchcraft in general. Keys. Justin says, I'm learning I have a lot of talismans. I carry a knife, a pistol, a lighter, etc. I have a man bag. It's more like a bug out pack. Hey, is it a man bag or is it a fanny pack? Or is it a European
A merce.
merce? Yeah, a merce. A lotus leaf or lotus flower image is often considered a talisman. The raven. In Nordic tradition, the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Bridget's cross.
Bridget's cross. Lucky says her combat boots or her Wonder Woman boots. Let's see, the triple moons, cauldron. Dragonflies are often associated with talismans. Same with butterflies. The palm. What is the palm? The hand. Do you remember the hand? You don't know what I'm talking about. I can tell, and you're not even looking at me. I know you don't know what I'm talking about. It's the hand of Kamsa. It's a luck thing. It's more Indian. Justin says he has a black leather merce, so we should all snicker at the merce. It makes it too easy. Let's see, what else? Golly, geez, there. The Triskelion, is another one. The snake biting its own tail. There's talismans all around in our world. The all-seeing eye.
Mm-hmm.
That's one that we all recognize. Technically, the planchette for your Ouija board is...
Whose Ouija board?
I said your.
Not mine.
Yes. Don't send Dawn a Ouija board. Metatron's cube would be considered a talisman also. A lot of the runic symbols are considered talismans anymore because people will carry them around as if that's what they really are, without really understanding what it means. It's like, oh, that's a stylized M. Oh no, honey, it's not. That's Degas. It's a.
Well, or
runic
they'll
begins.
they'll carry around, rune stones.
Rune
I have I have runes on the beads that I have on my hoodie. So.
Yeah, you could wear them in your beard.
Yeah, but it's a pain in the butt.
Celtic knots are often associated with talismans.
Lucky says 4-leaf clover.
4-leaf clover, yes. Avoiding the black cat.
That's more of a superstition.
Is that an anti-talisman? She had anti-gravity earlier because she should have fallen off. Yeah. I'm looking at a page here with the pentacle of the Venus seal of Solomon. Or the first pentacle of Venus seal of Solomon pendant. So I suppose the seal of Solomon would be considered a talisman. Abracadabra charm. Yes, why not? The talisman really truly is the things that make you feel good. So maybe for ladies it's putting on the makeup so you feel strong and powerful. Maybe it's your your heels. Maybe it's the power suit. Maybe it's the power tie. Whatever it is that makes you feel that strong, empowered feeling, or protected feeling. Those are all going to be your talismans, your touchstones, if you will, the things that'll help you to help yourself. Yeah, nope, I'm not even going to try that one. Apparently there's a poppet. There's a type of poppet you could use as a talisman. Yeah, no. A talisman. Okay. And if you're trying to do a ward or something to protect your home, maybe you want to anchor your protection stuff to an item to keep in your house, or to bury next to your front door. Yes, antiperspirant could be a talisman. Yes, Lucky, because I've met the ones that needed it. Now, an amulet is a little bit different, because an amulet is specific to protect from danger, generally. And a talisman is generally considered to be of benefit to the owner. But the combination of the two are often associated as a charm. For me, they're all kind of in the same thing. It's just a different shade of gray. That's something I've noticed, regardless of the different traditions. And so many of them, they all have white paint, but it's all different shades of white, or gray paint and it's all different shades of gray, or whatever. Basically, the same thing shows up in different cultures around the world, but they all have different names for it, which is why a lot of times when talking about herbology, or the different plant life that you might be using in your spell work or your ritual work, you're using descriptive words for the different things rather than the name. 4-leaf clover. It's a clover with 4 leaves. It kind of stands out. Or purple thyme. Well, purple thyme is a thyme plant that is purple. So you're being a little bit more descriptive.
And my flamethrower is a flamethrower that's hot.
Yes. My dagger has a pointy end. So, yeah, sometimes you really, truly have to use the descriptive words to get your point across. Apparently, Justin keeps he's owning the merce thing as he's talking in chat. And hey, props to you, man. Own the merce. Hagstones are common in witchcraft as a talisman. The hagstone specifically is a stone with a naturally occurring hole in the stone. It's been carved there by water and maybe sand or whatever is in the water to cut the hole in the rock. Some people can find the blasted hagstones every time they turn around. Friend of ours, Betty.
Mm-hmm.
Hagstone Betty. Yes, she could make a fence with the hagstone she's found. It just, yeah, it's annoying. Can I find one? Not to save my life. Period. I have a piece of petrified wood that could technically be a hagstone because it has a hole in it. But is it a piece of petrified wood with a hole in it that's a hagstone, or is it a piece of wood that was petrified that had a hole in it? So, yeah. Which came first? The hole or the petrification? Dice could be considered lucky and be considered talisman. So, if you get a fuzzy dice hanging from your rearview mirror, is that your talisman or not? Yeah, maybe, yes, no, sure. Yeah, betcha. So, yeah, it's just, when it comes to your talisman or the things you're using as a talisman, just be aware of what it is and how you're using it. If you're using, say, Bumblebee Jasper as your talisman, don't keep it in your pocket because if the stone gets wet, it's not necessarily good for you. It can irritate your skin depending on how it's been sealed. Bumblebee Jasper is a jasper with cyanide and sulfur is part of the compound. So generally it's sealed up, but yeah, it's Bumblebee Jasper. Anyways, yeah. Hey, Alan. It's beautiful yellow and black and white, yes. So we're off to our last break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Lyrid Meteor shower that's happening this week. Because it's party. And we like the meteor showers. So we'll be right back, guys. And check out the book. It's The Wild Pagan A to Z. Be right back.
Sisters of the shining moon, heaven, earth, and sea. I call upon you in this hour, bring magic unto me. Brothers, oh, the cauldron cries, it singeth unto me the songs of Mother Goddess and the Father in the tree.
Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we are off adventuring into the spaces between. And it's the last half hour of the show. I hope you've checked out the ialife.com and the paisleywild.com, and yeah. If not, you should do that later. If you do have questions, send me an email. It's wildpaisley@gmail.com. That's WILDEPAISLEY @gmail.com. Check out the book. It's Wild Paisley, or excuse me, by Paisley Wild. Sorry, it's The Wild Pagan, A to Z. And I'm hoping I'll be doing more of them because it was good. It was a fun experience. Maybe not all the illustrating. We'll see, because technology is an adventure. Some days more than others. So for the last half hour of the show tonight, I wanted to talk about the Lyrid Meteor shower that is happening. It's so between January and April, or mid-April, there's not a lot of meteor happenings in the sky, at least not scheduled, if you will. It's hold on. So yeah, they call it a meteor shower desert or drought, excuse me, meteor drought that happens from January to mid-April. So the Lyrid meteor shower is starting kind of tonight. Well, the new moon happened on the 12th. So today is when or tonight is when the it'll be at the peak, if you will. So the best viewing will generally happen between moonset and dawn. So there's the little fingernail sliver of the moon and sunrise. So is when you'll see most of the showers or most of the activity. You can go to earthsky.org to get more information on when. But let's see. Sorry, I'm reading and talking at the same time. So, the Lyrid meteor showers tend to go from the constellation of Lyra, or the Harp, which is near Vega. And then it moves. Hold on. Reading the... Okay, I don't speak astrology very well, or astronomy, I should say. So, the Lyrid's peak, Vega rises, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I don't know. Just, you'll want to look it up. And with the meteors, often in the past, the meteor showers have been portents of society. Now, as I was driving, I had a thought about that, because so often the meteor showers are considered to be the sign of something happening or something big, whatever the thing is. And so April shooting stars. Thank you, Lucky. Let's see. I'll come back to that. So about 10 to 15 meteors per hour can be expected during the shower's peak. So, yeah, between moonset and dawn, the Lyrids are known for uncommon surges that can sometimes bring the rate up to 100 per hour. Wow. They're rare outbursts, not easy to predict. but they're one of the reasons the tantalizing Lyrids are worth checking out. They're radiant for the showers near the bright star of Vega in the constellation Lyra, which rises in the northeast at about 10 p.m. on April evenings. In 2021, we expect the peak viewing to take place in the dark hour before dawn on April 22nd after the moon set. So, anyways, thank you, Lucky. I appreciate it. Throughout history, time immemorial, the major events that happen in our sky are associated or have been associated with big events, whether it's an equinox or the meteor showers or a full moon, a new moon, any of the variety of different things that might happen, the lunar eclipse or solar eclipse, those can all be mapped out. And so the astronomers of ancient times knew when these things were going to happen. And often there were big ceremonies associated with the different happenings. And big parties, revelry, or sometimes, you need time to stay inside and be quiet and sit small. The variety there. And so, those big events are often and have often in the past been associated with really big deals. So it makes one think a little bit when you're doing nothing but driving along. It's like, which is the cause and which is the effect? So are the big happenings in the sky signs that a thing is going to happen? Or is it such a big deal happening in the sky that even an idiot can see it, and so that's the sign that the thing needs to happen? So I think personally, I think there's some of both, because I think when we have strange things happening in the sky, it makes us pay attention and look to see what's happening, because it's an abnormality and it wakes us up out of our monotony of day-to-day trudging about and doing the things in years bygone. Just surviving was a big deal, and so having any extra energy to pay attention to the night sky or to notice big things happening, just there wasn't as much of, and there, because most of the energy was just devoted to survival. And so it was the priesthood, the priestesshood, that would mark the changes in the night sky, and would know when these different things were happening. And celebrate the things means, okay, so on the third night of this big party that we have every flippin' year, make sure this is when so-and-so is going to get killed, or burn down the neighbor's house, or whatever it is that needs to happen. Because people back then, they didn't have watches. Not everybody had 9 million clocks hanging on the wall. We didn't have smartphones or TVs or anything like that. So, it was a way to know when to do a certain thing. Not always a why, but we knew when. And so the powers that be started using those as postcards. Okay, now the masses will stand up and applause at this time when the moon is 3 fingers above the horizon, or the sun, etc. And it was a way of marking those special events. So if there was a full equinox in the middle of the day when the night became dark, that was a scary thing for people who didn't understand the why of it, because they still thought the Earth went around the sun, or the sun went around the Earth, or maybe they didn't understand. Maybe the sun is in a chariot racing across the sky, and it's dark because the sun god is sick or whatever. And there's, the fear of the unknown. And so to justify the unknown and to quantify it a bit more, the legends arose, and there became some sort of mythos surrounding the why. And as a result, knowing that the Lyrid Meteor shower happens in the middle of April-ish every year for about a week every year, and in the second half, that's when things get really going. You can say, hey, when there are going to be more than, so many meteors falling from the sky, and, in a certain time frame, the burning of one thumb of candle or what have you, that's when, this thing should happen. This calamity or this precipitous action is going to happen. And so not only were the celestial events foretelling that something was going to happen, but because it was planned, it became foretold, if you will. So yeah, I think there's some of both the foretelling and the using it as a marker or a signpost that it's time to stand and applaud, or it's time to go to the neighbor's house and burn it down. Whatever it is that jumps at you as the thing to do at that particular time. And, generally speaking, we have matured enough as a society that we know that most of those celestial events are happening because, well, they're celestial events and they happen every year because it's a cycle. It's a cycle of things. Just like the weather is cyclical and day and night is cyclical. We know that the Lyrid Meteor shower will happen every year about this time. It's just great. It's good that we know this. It's taken away a little bit of the magic of the event, which is frustrating because there should still be some magic to the individual events, because the energy is shifting at that point. Now, I work in a rock and crystal shop, so perhaps I'm a little more aware of the energetic changes sometimes. Sometimes I am plodding through my day just like everybody else. But like today, the energy shifts throughout the day were pretty pendulum swinging strong. Sometimes they were really up, and other times they were really down. And it gets exhausting to have that back and forth flow. Is it because of the lyrids, or is it because something else is going on? It's hard to say. In retrospect, it'll make more sense, because that's kind of what happens when you are retrospective. You're looking back to see what happened and why. Or at least how come. And I think a lot of what we are seeing in the world today is happening, or we're seeing it because it is at this point in the cycle that it has to happen, and there are events that are being foretold. Is the prognostication or the divination or divinatory powers that we don't listen to very much, just like we don't listen to our instincts very much. I mentioned those at the very beginning of the show, and holding the Amukaite jasper to help follow your gut instinct, even though it feels wrong, looks wrong, smells wrong, but it's actually right. It's really, really hard for us as a people at our current level of society to just trust our gut. But that's what we need to do more of. And it's hard to let go of the control and just say, yep, that's what we're going to do now. So, yeah, it's a process. And we have advanced enough as a civilization that, that gut instinct has just been forgotten. But I think as we become more aware of the energetic signatures of the different stones and crystals and the world around us, which I can tell you from experience, we are, the number of people coming into the store that have never been into any store like that before and are asking questions. So they're like, I've never asked this before and I've never looked into this. What do I do first? How do I get started? What kind of stone do I need first? Generally, I tell people you need quartz, amethyst, and tourmaline, and selenite. Those are the first 4 stones to buy. And from there, you can you build your stone library or your stone medicine chest, and you go from there. So, and you learn from there. And don't be afraid to ask the questions and do the things, because that's how you're going to learn. So going back to, the astronomy and the celestial events that are happening. Yeah, the things are happening in the night sky or the daytime sky, but mostly in the night because that's what we can see. If you see the meteor shower, ask yourself, what does this mean to me in my life right now? Is this a sign I need to take the job? Is it a sign that I need to go looking for a new job? Is it a sign that this relationship is working or not working? So sometimes we need to take the signs around us and we need to dust them off, and we need to look at them, and then we need to look at them from a different direction and make sure that, is this really something that we need for ourselves, or is this something that was a message for someone else, or can we really tell? So you should be writing this stuff down in your journal. Just like I had a really weird dream last night that I went to Russia, of all places, and had dinner with a friend. And then I came home. Does it make any sense? No, because I drove to Russia from North Idaho, and that's really not something you can generally do, because I had to go to the East Coast to get to Russia, which again is kind of counterintuitive because Russia's not to the east from me, it's to the west. So, yeah. But yeah, did I write it down? No, but did I make note of it? Yes. Yes, I did, because I have an audio recorder that I make a lot of notes on. Because sometimes my brain works faster than my hands could ever write, which is why I had to learn how to type fast. So, yeah, I'm building the skills because I need to understand the stuff. So, yeah, what are some of the things, as you're journaling your day, what are the things that have stood out in your life about this time of the year that may have been signified by the Lyrid Meteor showers? Dee's finding stones that she's had packed away for a long time. Yeah, it's amazing. It's like, oh, what's this box for? I don't know. Maybe we should open it. Open the box. That's what happened to that. I hate that feeling. But at the same time, I love that feeling. It's like, oh, that's what I did with it. I thought it just disappeared. So, anyways. Look at the world around you. Your talismans are everywhere. They're your ritualistic habits that you do every day. It's your favorite coffee mug. It's your lucky socks. It's your lucky jacket. It's your rabbit's foot. It's your pocket knife. It's the things that we carry with us from one day to the next that help us feel more secure, more safe, luckier. And sometimes those things make a lot of sense. It really do. It's like, oh, well, it's a rock, or hey, it's a rabbit's foot, or hey, it's a necklace that my great aunt Wanda gave me. Whatever it is, it makes sense that it's your lucky talisman. Maybe it doesn't make sense. Like those little troll dolls from the 80s. How are those lucky to anybody? 'Cause I don't know, but I've seen it. One person will sit up and they'll have, the little dolls all over the place. They're like, oh, these are my lucky things. And the next person over will have a Buddha. It's like, well, I'm going to rub the Buddha's belly. I don't think they have the same weight, but sure. if all those little troll dolls give you the same amount of luck as rubbing the Buddha belly, okay, that's your thing. Just roll with it. You do you, boo, and I'll accept you as you are. So, yeah. And whatever it is that you're using as your talisman, take care of it. Don't forget to clean it once in a while. Don't forget to cleanse it once in a while. If it's something that can be cleansed with water, awesome, do that. If it can't be cleansed with water, use sunlight or moonlight. If you're worried about it fading, okay, don't use that. Use a selenite charging plate to cleanse it, or salt, or something. Cleanse the residual energies of the lucky thing once in a while. Preferably when you stop needing it to be lucky, like the season is over, which I get. Unless it's part of your ritualistic practice as you lead up to any game or thing or whatever it is that you're using the Lucky Rabbit's foot for. So, yeah, whatever it is that helps you do the stuff, that's your talisman. And remember, it could be the intangible thing, like the smell. For me, home-cooked meal was often associated with my grandmother's cooking. And anytime I smell a similar meal, I'm taken back to the last time I had that same kind of meal with my grandmother and the people that were there. And I remember the occasion and everything else around or surrounding it. The why and the who and the what and all that stuff. So it's awesome. And so that is very much a talisman. It's a touchstone, that memory is. So, yeah, your talismans are not always a tangible thing that you can pick up and put in your pocket. Sometimes they are really, truly the things that you remember the most. Don't forget to journal those things down because at some point the details might change. They may fade, they may twist, they may be Mandela'd. It's hard to say. Write them down so you have them. And if nothing else, someday down the road, maybe it'll be your children or your grandchildren or your grandchildren's children. They'll be reading your journals and be like, oh, that's what that was all about. I get it now. Or, oh, that's such an awesome memory, or whatever it is. Remember, comfort food really, truly is a talisman. Anybody's ever been sick or needed a thing, whatever the thing is, comfort food makes you feel better. Period. Absolutely, period. Without a doubt, yes. Also, we've got the Lyrid Meteor shower. So, yeah, if you have a chance to watch the meteor shower, do so. Take some pictures. Write down your experiences. Meditate under the meteor shower. How does it make you feel? What were you trying to accomplish with the meditation? Or were you just trying to recharge? All those things are really valid questions that you need to ask yourself when you're doing a meditation session or experiencing a thing that you haven't experienced before. Some of us have been getting the vaccine. Why'd you get the vaccine? What caused you to feel it was the right choice for you? Post-vaccine, do you still feel the same way? And then in a year or 5 years, revisit that same question. It's like, hey, by the way, on this date, in 2021, approximately 16 years ago, I got the COVID virus, or antivirus injected. Whatever it is that you've done throughout the day, journal it so you remember it, and the experiences around it, the emotions around it, and all that stuff. With the Lyrid Meteor showers, yeah, write them down. How do you feel about it? Did you meditate? Were you open to the energy that is moving through our sky right now as we are starting to experience that meteor shower? Meteor showers are generally very transformative energy because they're transforming from one state to the next. So out in space, they're generally solids. As they go through the atmosphere, they turn into a plasma or liquid and they burn up. They become gaseous. Yeah, that transitory phase. Yeah, what's going on? So, let's see. Thank you, Justin. Check out the book if you have a chance, and that's The Wild Pagan, A to Z. It's available on Amazon in print and in Kindle. I will have copies for sale on my website. That's PaisleyWild.com. And if you buy them on the website and you want them to be autographed, just let me know. And it's something I can do too. So, next weekend, I don't know what's going on next weekend. It's a whole week away. I can't think that far into the future. And good night, Lucky. Don't forget to check out the ialife.com. Yeah, sometimes we all need the ayahuasca. That's just all there is to it. Really, really, really seriously check it out. Anyways, so thanks for joining me tonight. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Thank you again to Naysay last night. So merry meet and merry part and merry meet again. And you guys have a fantastic week, and we'll see you next time.
O Lord, within the sun, as we will, so mote it be, the spell forever done.